Hi, I'm Ross Benjamin reporting for the Offshore Gaming Association. That's OSGA.com for the most reliable information on who the best sports books are to deal with and who to stay away from, as well as some great handicapping articles from five featured writers, including myself, and also some free picks daily from some well known, respected sports handicappers. That's OSGA.com. Now, here's the thing, the NFL opening week of the season. Everybody's excited. All the bettors who've been waiting all year since they may have won or lost the Super Bowl with their wager, and now the regular season is finally upon us and they get to do it all over again, and they're all hyped up. They have a full bankroll and they're ready to go. Now, here's the problem for a lot of bettors at this time of year. There's not a lot of reliable information to go on. So what they tend to do is look at last year's team results. And especially so, they tend to lean toward betting on teams that made the playoffs a season ago, and especially when they're facing a team that didn't qualify for the postseason. I have a couple examples I'd like to touch upon here, and I'm going to tell you why. Slow down a little bit. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction, because if it's too good to be true, most times than not, it normally is in sports betting. And this I firmly believe this adage really is clear here in these two instances. Let's start with the game between the Atlanta Falcons and the Chicago Bears. The Bears are coming off a 3-13 campaign a season ago, and the Atlanta Falcons, as we well know, storied season last year, only to be spoiled by blowing that 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl and losing in overtime to New England. But all in all, a very successful season for Atlanta, despite the fact it ended on a bitter note. Now, having said all that, the Bears, all three of their wins last year came as a home underdog. Currently, as of Thursday, September 7th, when I'm recording this video, the Bears are a 7-point home underdog in this situation. Not only did all three of their wins come as a home underdog a season ago, the Bears were home underdogs in 6 of their 8 home games and covered on 5 of those occasions. Even more so, if they were a home underdog of 3.5 or more, they went a perfect 4-0 against the spread. Now, as opposed to many of the experts out there, I should say, who are predicting the Bears to have a similar type season and to be a lost franchise with no direction right now, I don't think Chicago will be a playoff team, but I think they'll be much more competitive than we saw a season ago. The Atlanta Falcons, on the other hand, we all know what happened last year, and normally the Super Bowl loser is a team I like to play on in the first 4 weeks of the year, and the statistics will pan out to show you that. ATS statistics, I should say, will pan out to show you why I do so. However, this isn't an ordinary situation. As I alluded to before, this is an Atlanta Falcons team that's feels a little bit snake bit, and also their confidence can't be overwhelmingly 100% at this point after what occurred in the Super Bowl a season ago. Even having said that, go to OSGA.com right now. I have an article up that pertains to this category. It's called NFL Week 1 Live Underdogs. Under that article heading is I highlight the Atlanta and Chicago game. I have a 10-0 against the spread betting angle that applies to week 1 of the NFL regular season, favoring the underdog in the exact situation that Chicago will be on Sunday against Atlanta. Not only have the home underdogs covered on all of those occasions, all 10 that is, they've also won 5 of those 10 games outright, which gives it even more value, and especially considering we're getting a touchdown at home. So I'm going to lean toward the Chicago Bears here, plus the 7 over Atlanta on Sunday afternoon. Let's look at the next game. It's going to be a AFC South battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans, a game that will be played in Houston. And there's been much made in the media this week about Houston and their players really wanting to respond for the community after the traumatic events caused by Hurricane Harvey, mass destruction, a lot of victims to that storm, and the Texans have made it clear as a group that they want to give the people of Houston and the community something to feel good about, at least for a temporary period of time. Well, that sounds all good in theory, and not to be insensitive, but my job is to look for betting value and to pick winners. And in this particular instance, look, do you think the Jacksonville Jaguars in their season opener against a divisional opponent to boot and the AFC South defending champion aren't going to be sky high to play this game? Now, if this was in the middle of the year and Jacksonville was a 1-7 club, a 2-6 club, it would be I would factor in the emotional aspect a little different. But being the opening game for both teams, and in my personal opinion, this is a much improved Jacksonville team, and it'll be the first time Doug Marrone has the title of full-time head coach of Jacksonville. He took over on a temporary basis last year, and the Jaguars played very well for him down the stretch. But the last time Marrone was on the sidelines was in Buffalo, and the Bills went 9-7 that year and weren't able to attain anywhere near that success the last 2 years under Rex Ryan. So this is a guy who can coach, and this team will be motivated, and I'm going to take the points in this situation. If you go to the offshore sports books right now, and there's plenty of them that you could check out by going to OSGA.com, Houston is anywhere from a 4.5 to 6 point favorite. They opened up at 4.5. The majority of volume of bets have gone the way of Houston. The general public sentiment is they're eating up all this media hype about Houston going the extra yard for the community and the fans to give them something to feel good about. But I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, and it's got nothing to do with being insensitive to what went on in Houston, and I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars plus the 6. Once again, if you go to OSGA.com, you'll find my article heading of NFL Week 1 Live Underdogs. Under that heading, Jacksonville at Houston is highlighted. There's a 12-0 against the spread opening week, NFL opening week betting angle that supports the underdog in this situation, and Jacksonville fits exactly into that scenario under them betting angle parameters that I have. Now, having said that, as opposed to Chicago, where they were 10-0 ATS, betting angle, I should say, supporting Chicago that's 10-0 in ATS, and 5-5 straight up. Not as good a straight up number with this 12-0 against the spread angle, 3-9 straight up. However, slow down. Don't get caught up in all that, because 7 of those 9 losses came by 3 points or less. The other 2 came by 6 and 7 points. So not as bad as it appears on the surface. Again, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I'm going to go on the high side. We can get 6 out there. We're going to take the 6. Once again, Chicago plus the 7. Jacksonville plus the 6 is my 2 NFL early live underdogs. Be sure to go to my website, rbwins.com, where you can get all the selections I personally wager on myself, as well as my paying clients receive. Folks, this is no baloney. I'm a documented 83-33 against the spread in the month of September with my NFL regular season picks. I'm well ahead of the curve and well ahead of the books in September, and that dates back to 2010. You don't win at that rate for that period of time without knowing what you're doing early on in the year in the NFL, and I certainly would qualify with that record as knowing what I'm doing. So please visit my website, rbwins.com. It'd be a pleasure to help you out and do business with you. Until the next time, I wish you all the luck with all your picks this coming weekend, and good luck and God bless.